Hey, what's up, people? Welcome back to Urban Arts Magazine's 40 Under 40 Spotlight. Yo, for the month of January, February 2022, we are featuring several amazing artists who are under the age of 40 doing some great things in art, theater, dance, music, visual arts, film, television, and literary. And today is no exception. We have with us an amazing vocalist, amazing dancer. I want to help me welcome Ron Baker to the stage. Ron, how's it going, brother?
I'm blessed, man. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So Ron, the man, the myth, the legend, got your name on your shirt, bro. Yo, so tell me who is Ron Baker?
So Ron Baker, I am a 27-year-old artist, dancer, choreographer, actor, entrepreneur. I'm from Springfield, Massachusetts, currently residing in Dallas, Texas.
Okay, big D.
Yep. Yes, sir. And I'm just a man of the arts, man. Honestly, I've come from a very long line of different artists, and it's probably the only thing I've ever wanted to do with my life is be an artist. So I'm glad to be here and be able to share it.
That's cool, man. That's cool, man. So tell me, like, you started off as a dancer, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so like, how did you start dancing? Like, that's not something you see like us as Black people start off with in dance.
Yeah. So for me, I was one of the kids that, like, my parents didn't put me in things.
Okay.
They kind of waited until I said, "This is what I want to do."
Gotcha.
My exposure to things came just from being home watching television, watching music videos and things of that nature. I don't think I ever really got into a professional class until I was about 14 years old.
Oh, wow.
And that's pretty much where my journey with it started. Because prior to that, I was just really doing everything on my own, just making up things. I was the type of kid that, like, when the family would come over, I would be like, "All right, sit down. I'm about to perform something. I got some skit or something I want y'all to, to watch." So I was that kid, and I didn't really get into things professionally until around teenage years.
Okay.
I got into dance. I want to say I probably more so started off with choreography.
Okay.
Before I got into actually training as a dancer.
Wow. So you started off like choreographing for people before you even got trained. That's interesting because the trajectory is normally different, right?
Absolutely. Very different. I think I just was always one that was, not to say like ahead of my time, but I always had ideas. Always had ideas, and I would say people kind of looked towards me as like a leader of some sort. So even before I got into training, I think I taught my first class before I ever joined the company at the dance studio that I was at. I entered as a hip hop choreographer, teaching for people that are older than me or my age, And then I got into, like, that's what really opened my eyes to, the different genres of dance and seeing my peers, do these different things. And I'm like, okay, I want to learn. I want to know how to do this thing. And I was fortunate enough to, audition for the late, great Frank Hatchett and Tim Norrington. If anybody knows who Frank Hatchett, he basically started Broadway Dance Center in New York City. He's in Springfield, Massachusetts as well. So it's a lot of history behind that.
Right. So, would you say hip hop is your focus in dance, or you do more modern, more jazz? Like, what's your focus?
My first classes I ever took were hip hop and jazz.
Okay.
Like I said, I started doing choreography. I would say I started with hip hop choreography, and from there it opened my eyes to the ballet, the jazz, the tap, the West African dance, and those pretty much became my thing. Like, to be a company member, you had to do all of those things.
Right.
I wouldn't say that hip hop is my main. That's probably what is easiest for me to teach.
Okay.
In my head.
Right.
I have taught jazz classes or ballet classes and things of that nature, but hip hop, I think hip hop probably is easiest for me to get into because hip hop can be so many different things.
Yeah.
Hip hop doesn't have to be what they would categorize hip hop dance as. It can be a blend of all the different genres. It's just about how your approach to it.
Right. And it really is all a blend of all the different genres put together. That's what hip hop music is. That's what hip hop dance is. Hip hop clothing, everything about hip hop is like a blend of this and that and pulling from all the history and roots.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Cool. So how did you make the jump from a dancer to a singer?
So as a singer, I did choir, in the church growing up. very briefly. But for singing, for me, it was more so of like a shy thing. I didn't want my voice to be heard. And I think just as a male too, like as you get older, your voice starts to change. You know,
Right.
so I was very more reserved and shy about wanting to sing and perform. I had been dancing and choreographing for so long that I could get out there and dance and perform and mess up, and you'll never know that I messed up because I've learned enough to mask that, you know, while
Right.
performing and to keep going and keep doing what I have to do. With singing, it became more of like you got to be perfect when you go out there. You know what I mean? You can't go out there and hit wrong notes.
Right. Right.
Very more like, this is for me. And I've
Yeah.
always wanted to do it, but it took some years, it took some courage, it took some being around other music artists to really like break me out of that leg and say, hey, this is me, this is my voice, this is what I sound like. I'm always going to keep practicing and perfecting what it is that I have, but this is what I have, this is what God gave me, so I'm going to work with that. You know?
Right.
And it took time. It took many, many years. Like I said, I started professionally dancing at 14. I don't think I was confident in music until maybe about 21.
Okay. Oh wow. That's recently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. It was
Wow.
definitely recently, and like I said, it took me to like I had to be around great circles of different music artists,
Yeah.
rappers, singers, poets. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? For me to say, hey, I have something to offer to the table as well. You know,
Nice.
and there's a certain kind of music that I want to bring to the
Mm-hmm.
table. You know what I mean? I'm a very old school. I'm old soul. You
Okay.
know, I
Okay.
probably live and stuck in the '90s. You know,
Gotcha. '90s
and
was a good time, man. '90s was a good time.
amazing time. You know, it's amazing music that was birthed out of that time period, as
Right.
well as the '60s and '70s and the '80s.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of
Sure.
all of it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So, but for me, that's where my passion in music is rooted. It's rooted in that era of the '90s and the 2000s. More so, you know, that's the era that I really grew up in. You know,
Right.
and
Right.
inspired by the different genres and the different types of artists that came out of that time period. Whether they were R&B singers and they were singing to hip hop music, hip hop instrumentals and beats. You know
Right.
what I mean? Or the hip hop artists. And I'm a fan of like I want to understand what it is that I'm listening to. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm a fan of that era of rap as well. You know what I mean? So that's what got me into music. That's what got me comfortable enough to be an artist of my own. You know, and who would I be if I continue to just keep this gift to myself?
Right.
You know what I mean? Instead of sharing it, it was given to me for a reason. So let
Right.
me go and put it out there.
Yeah. So and put out there you did. So you have a song out right now called Friday. Yo,
Yes.
but that's not like a 2000 song. That's really like 2021 right now. It feels
Oh,
like
thank you.
it's fresh and current. Yeah, man.
Thank you, man. I
What's the
appreciate it.
inspiration behind Friday?
So the inspiration behind Friday. So Friday came along in a project where so my first musical project that I ever put out was just a blend of me just saying, hey, I'm trying to make songs and I'm making music and I'm writing things that make sense to me. You know, and like I said, I was around different artists. I'm just collaborating and just, you know, just experimenting, you
Right.
know. When I got to my second project, it was like, all right, I want this to be a full R&B project.
Nice.
So Friday, and it's funny because Friday was never an initial single for when I first put the project out. Friday is more so coming along now. Like, let me stretch this out and let people hear more songs that's on it. So
Okay.
Friday for me it's actually one of the first songs that I recorded for the project, but it's the last to like actually be promoted in a sense,
Gotcha.
you know. But Friday for me it was just a feel good record, you know. It's one of those songs where it's just like I feel like everybody can relate to it because who can't relate to a good Friday night where you want to get dressed up, you want to smell good, you want to go out with your friends. You might
Right.
not even want to go out with your friends. You can just stay in and have a drink and listen to music and dance around your living room. So
Right.
that's really what the inspiration behind Friday was. It was like, I want to have a good feeling record that makes other people want to enjoy themselves. And
Yeah.
that's really the mindset behind almost every song that I create. It's just I want people to feel good from these records. I've heard things in the past where people say like, you know, this is like cookout music or you know
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's like, and I don't take offense to that because I love cookout music.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a
love
thing.
hearing
It's a whole thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the thing with the music that I create, it can be played in any kind of setting. With a
Nice.
song like Friday could be played in a club setting, you know, in an early set. It could be played at the cookout.
Yeah.
We played in the car, just driving, you know. So that was the whole premise behind Friday. It was just literally what it is. Friday. What does a Friday night mean to you? You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. And then you have a feature on there, Malik James, right?
Yes, sir. That's my good brother Malik, also from Springfield, Massachusetts, and that was more so just like a dream collab for me to do with my brother because he was one of those that inspired me to say, "Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and put my twist on music and put it out there." So, and then coming from where we're from, there's not too many male R&B singers in my city. You
Gotcha.
know, I could probably think of like 5 or 6 on hand. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? So for that, it was like we got to do something. We got to show them that the guys in R&B we're here, we're making noise, and it's feel good music all around.
Right. Right. So what's the name of the album?
The album is called The Session, Silk Wraps and Slippers. So each project that I've only had 2, but the first one was called The Session Joints. And
Okay.
that was just a play on like these are just a bunch of joints, bunch of records I done put together that I want people to hear. And
Right.
then this one was more of like a sensual, like I said, I wanted it to be real R&B, so I called it Silk Wraps and Slippers. It was kind of like a funny name that came up with,
Okay.
but when I think about like Silk Wraps and Slippers, I'm thinking like something that's sexy, that's
Yeah.
that sounds good, that feels good. So that was kind of how I came up with that. But the
Gotcha.
session in general, the session is like the preface of like both projects, and the session for me is just like the session can mean anything. The session of sitting down, writing music, recording it,
Right.
conversations with your friends, any kind of thing that can be a session, a joint, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes sense. It makes sense. So, if you out of your both of your albums, what would be your favorite song?
Nah, my favorite song. Excuse me. My favorite song on both projects. Okay, so I'm gonna pick one from both.
Okay.
Okay, so from my first project, I have a song called Sunday.
Okay. Oh,
Featuring,
Friday, Sunday. I see a theme here.
you see where I'm going with it. So that Sunday was first, and
Okay.
Sunday was like the first song that I was like super confident about, and it was like the first song that I got a lot of response from.
Okay.
It wasn't the first song I put out. Oddly enough, the first song I put out was a rap song.
And you were rapping?
Yeah, I was rapping too.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that was my thing with experimenting with music was like I wasn't putting myself in a box to do anything.
Gotcha.
And I had like questioned my writing ability.
Okay.
Right. And in starting music, I was telling a lot of those people around, like, I want to do this, but I need y'all to help me write these songs.
Okay.
Then on the other side of that, I'm the type of person that like once I say I want to do something, I need it to get done and I can't wait on other people.
Okay.
So I just started writing.
Gotcha.
And the I wouldn't call it a problem, but I found myself writing and everything kept coming out like a rap.
Okay.
And I'm trying to sing, but everything keeps coming out like
Mhm.
rap words.
Yeah.
So that was the first song I wrote. It was called Road Rage. And I did it with a friend of mine's Yelly B and my cousin Doe, and we put it out there. We made a video, and it was, a hot record. Then when I flipped it and came with Sunday, Sunday is more of a R&B Caribbean type of vibe of a record.
Nice.
So it was very different from what I had put out first. And Sunday, I got such a great response from it. I got to perform it so many times, and it's probably like my most streamed song that I put out. So that's my favorite song. Like you can play that now, and people will still come up to me and be like, "That's my jam." You know what I mean?
Nice, man.
So with the new project, I would probably say my favorite song would be I have a record called Cool One. And I like Cool One a lot because Cool One for me was like the first time I wrote something where I was like, this is R&B. And it's to the cadence of what I feel like R&B is. You know what I mean? It has these great moments where you can sing along. Right. So that would probably be my favorite one. That song allowed me to do some touring.
Nice.
In like a local regional kind of way. You know what I mean? To be able to perform, I was able to go to SOBs in New York and perform some of these records. So I would say Cool One allowed me to open up to different people and different audiences.
Right. So how was that tour life? Like, so I've been on tour a couple of times, and tour life can be super hard and rough. How did you find tour life?
So tour life for me, so it was fun.
Okay.
I would say, because it wasn't on the scale of like I got a tour bus and I'm traveling all over the world. It was more so of like, this is what I want to do, and I had to book all of these places.
Gotcha. You know? So you're hitting dates. Yeah, makes sense.
I had to put everything together myself, and I think I was just kind of blessed with the timing of it, that there was a lot of different venues and places for me to go into at the time. So it made sense to say, you know, this is a tour. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, you know, so I had to put all of that together, and I would say it was fun just in the fact of like, hey, this is what we're doing. Like, you come out, everybody's riding out here to this show. We're pulling up here, we're pulling up there. Like, it's just it was fun. I would say it was very fun, and it wasn't a lot of like strenuous kind of like trying to do this. You know what I mean? It was like we're just having fun. We have songs, we have records, and if we can all pull up here to this venue and I got y'all out in the crowd, that's gonna make everybody else feel like they're a part of what's going on. You know what I mean? So it was fun. I would love to be on a tour in like a bigger fashion.
Yeah, for sure.
It meant a lot because I had to do the legwork on this.
Yeah. And when you do stuff like that, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, you know, I had to book them and I had to show up and make it what it is.
Yeah, when you do that, you really appreciate it for sure.
Absolutely.
Sure. Can you share with us a moment where you had a challenge and how you overcame that in your career?
Sure. Let's think of a good challenge. I would say that's a great question. A challenge of mine. So let's just say a challenge of mine would probably be, you know, like I said, I've had to put a lot of these things together on my own, doing them without, you know, management and all of these different things, you know, in the artist world. A lot of those things can get really shaky, you know, not who's really there to help you and guide you and bring you along the way. A challenging moment I'll probably say is, you know, getting really, really bad contracts. I've gotten one in the past that just, if you don't know what you're reading, don't sign it.
And is this management contracts? This is label contracts? What are this?
It's management contracts.
Gotcha. Okay.
First time I ever got approached with a management contract, and everything seems good. You know what I mean? But having somebody that can look that information over with, because it comes with a lot of jargon that you won't understand. And I was presented with a contract that basically said that this manager was going to own everything that I've previously created.
Ooh, no.
And I wouldn't have known that unless I had somebody else reread it for me or proofread it, because I didn't know what it was talking about. You know, like this contract said that there would be like power of attorney over me and all kinds of different things where it's like, there's no way that anybody in their right mind should sign something like that, especially as an artist, someone who's creating all of these things from scratch and ideas. Like, you don't want to just hand that over to just anybody, you know? So, and then with that, you know, you got to turn certain things down. You don't really know when or how the next opportunity is going to be presented to you. So you're kind of taking a risk and just betting on yourself that, you know, I will get to where I got to get to someday, you know? But I'm very grateful that I had somebody that was able to look that over. And a lot of times you don't have people to look those over. Like, I'm from Springfield, Mass. So I've been researching and trying to find people that specifically look into these kinds of things, you know, entertainment contracts. And this was very hard, very hard to find people that have their expertise in that. You know, so I went with my gut and I didn't sign it and continue to work independently, you know. So that would probably be a big challenge in my life. Just because, like I said, you don't know when the next opportunity is coming, but you do just have to, you know, stay prayerful, continue working, keep your head down, you know what I mean? And keep working, keep grinding until the next opportunity comes your way. And hopefully that next opportunity is more beneficial to you than the first one that comes that just seems like it's so good. You
Yeah,
Because
that's
when
real.
you're excited, somebody's looking at me, they're handing me, they want to help me be a star.
Yep.
Of course, why wouldn't you want to go for it? But everything that glitters ain't gold, as they say.
Oh, that's part. That part is true for sure, man. Yeah, and it's so funny. It's been a running theme about being able to know when to say no.
Yes.
For all these conversations, it's very interesting how it just keeps coming back. That there's sometimes where you just have to walk away and say no, and don't jump at the first opportunity everyone presents. That's dope, man. That's dope. Yes. So Ron, what's next for you? What are you working on? What's like in the lab? What are you doing next?
So in the lab. So right now I'm currently I'm taking some classes.
Okay.
For acting.
Nice.
I'm working towards getting signed to an agency.
Okay.
For acting and modeling.
Okay.
This is another way to get my foot into the door. I've done some background acting work in the past for a few commercials and films and stuff. But I want to get my foot in the door to have more speaking roles. Nice. So I decided to just, take a step back, take class, go through the schooling process a little bit, you know what I mean, as a student, because there's nothing wrong with ever being a student. I feel like we should always be students of our crafts.
Always learning. Always learning.
Always. Yeah. So that is where my focus has been.
Okay.
Musically, I haven't been recording anything new. I've just been more so practicing vocal techniques. Like I just moved to Dallas, so I haven't been doing any performing. I've been just doing more so of just honing in on the craft and learning where to go and where the scenes are at out here in Dallas and other artists, you know what I mean? So that's really what I've been focusing on, is just perfecting all of my crafts at this moment before I go ahead and put out something new.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. And I think I love that you said we should always be students, because we should. Like, there's no point we should ever stop learning.
Absolutely.
The moment we stop learning is when we die. Legit. Because there's still something new to learn in some aspect of what we do.
All the time. And that's in anything that you do. Whether it's in this world that we're in right now of podcasts and interviewing, there's always things to learn and do and how to engage better with your audience, So I applaud you for doing what you do, brother, because I don't know if I could step into your shoes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot. It's a lot, but I'm grateful. I'm definitely grateful.
Yes.
Yeah, man. So how can we follow you on social medias? What's your website? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, so I'm on all social media platforms at Big Homie Baked, BIGHOMIE BAKED. And if anybody wants to know, it's a play on words because of my last name, Baker.
Right. Right.
All of my music is at Ron Baker.
Nice. So make sure you go check out Ron Baker on all the social media platforms. Like him and follow his music. Purchase, don't download, don't stream. Purchase, please purchase. His music, because that makes a difference. So Ron, we're gonna play a quick game I love to play. It's called This or That.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you two different scenarios or two different words, two different ideas. And then you pick this or that, and I'll ask you why. Cool?
I'm ready.
All right. So, 90s hip hop or 90s R&B?
Wow, this is where we're starting off with.
Yep.
Wow.
Right out the gate.
I'm gonna go with 90s R&B. I'm an R&B guy.
Okay.
Top. So yeah.
Okay. Well, since we're already here, let's go. Monica or Brandy?
Brandy.
Ooh, that was quick.
I love them, but I know, and it's because I have this debate all the time with my friends, and I shouldn't have answered so quickly, but that was for them because they like to debate with me on that. That was for them, Brandy. But I love Monica, love Monica as well. But I'm gonna pick Brandy.
Why Brandy though?
Brandy, it's the voice, the vocal Bible. It's everything. Like, as far as I can think back, like Moesha was on the television. Like,
right.
It's always been there. Like, I remember Full Moon. I remember everything. Like,
okay, yeah, Full Moon was a good album. It was a good album.
Living legend. And then I'm like so much of a fan that like a lot of people don't listen to like their later works and albums and stuff. I listen to everything that comes out, and I have favorites on all of those. So I'm going.
Okay. Faith Evans or Mary J?
Who wrote these questions? Wow. All right. So I'm going to say Faith Evans.
Ooh.
Because
Okay.
I have been really listening to Faith Evans' first album a lot recently.
Okay.
And it's probably like it's here on the
Is that
number.
Faithfully Yours?
No, it's Faith.
Faith. Okay, that's the one. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And that album, honestly, like as of recent, like in me writing new songs and stuff like that, has been giving me a lot of inspiration. And just in terms of like writing style and content and things like that. Don't get me wrong, I'm MJB all day long, you know, for me. But I'm gonna go Faith Evans just because I'm listening to her a lot more right now.
Okay. Catherine Dunham or Judith Jameson?
Judith.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Judith. No specific reason.
Okay. I just want to throw a dance situation in there. Throw a dance situation in there. And last one. East Coast pizza, West Coast tacos.
East Coast pizza.
Why?
Because I'm from the East Coast.
I knew that was going to be the reason.
Yeah, and I mean, pizza. We got some really, really, really good pizza back home in Mass. So I'm gonna go.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't hear that in Massachusetts. I never can say it. Has good pizza.
You don't hear about a lot of different things that like Massachusetts is like has their hands in. You know what I mean? As far as like pizza, seafood. You know what I mean? We get all 4 seasons back at home in Massachusetts. You're gonna see them colors of the leaves change, and you're gonna get that snowfall, and you're gonna get that hot summer. You're gonna get everything. Right. So I'm gonna East Coast pizza, West Coast tacos. Okay, is it crazy that I'm always like slightly disappointed in like street tacos?
Anywhere or like just on the West Coast?
No, I wouldn't say just because of the West Coast, but I would just say I think because like the first time I had a street taco, I think my idea is that it was going to be like a big taco.
Oh,
and they would have these like little small ones. I'm like, what is this? Like,
yeah, it's a street taco, something you can hold on and walk the streets with for sure.
Yeah, I guess that would make sense, right?
Yeah, but I get it. You expecting like a whole, burrito taco. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I was just kind of, mistaken.
Right. That's funny, man. That is hilarious. But though, this has been This or That. Make sure you follow the career of Ron Baker. Make sure you like, share, comment. Let this brother know that we are supporting him. Ron, keep making music, keep making beautiful music, keep dancing, keep acting, keep at the craft, man. We appreciate you having you on 4040, and congratulations for being one of our 40 under 40.
Thank you. I'm so honored, man. I really appreciate y'all, man. Blessings.
Yes, sir. Make sure you like, comment, and share. We'll be back.